Hi, my name is Belgica and I'm an actress in the San Francisco Bay Area. And on this channel, I make acting related videos. So if you're interested in things like how to find auditions, how to do self-tape auditions on home, go ahead and subscribe right now and click on the notification bell so I don't get lost in YouTube and you actually see my videos when I upload every Monday and Thursday. So today I wanted to talk about my personal experience and what it's really like to be an actress, because I feel like a lot of people sometimes they make me feel like, oh, acting is so fun and easy. And it is fun. And sometimes it's easy. But today I wanted to talk about the truth and the negative parts and what I go through mentally and physically and everything as an actress here in the Bay Area. And this is 100% my experience as a Latina actress in the Bay. And I have formal experience. I have a BA in acting and dance. I went to Cal State East Bay and studied acting there. So, it's not like I just popped out of nowhere and was like, I'm gonna do acting. Like, I'm gonna try it out. Like, I've actually put time and money into it. So today I wanted to talk about it and the struggles. So first of all, the Bay Area acting world is so small. I'm mostly a commercial actress right now, and of course I try to do short films and audition whenever I can for feature films and TV shows and stuff like that. I used to do theater, didn't pay as much, so I decided I'd do more on camera stuff. And the on camera world and the theater world as well is so small. You always see the same actors, and even if you think you don't see the same actors, it's just because you don't know them, so you don't notice them. Because after I see somebody at an audition or a gig and I run into them again, I'm like, oh yeah, you probably were at like all my auditions and I just haven't seen you. So you will always see the same actors. So just be friendly, and like whenever you see somebody at an audition, if you're an actor, definitely say hello, introduce yourself, and get to know each other, because you're gonna probably see them on set. You always see the same actors from the same agencies, especially if they're your type, because there are a lot of commercials in the Bay Area. I'll always see people that I've worked with before or that I've auditioned with before over and over again. And they will be from the same agencies like MDT, Nilo. I think Boom Talent is another one. JE, once in a while. I feel like they're more just like SAG people, but you'll always see the same people from the same agencies. So it's very small. Be nice, make friends. It's the same casting agencies as well. There's this really small group of casting agencies, that companies that will just hold most of the casting calls. So you'll keep going back to the same place, Bobino once a week, Nancy Hayes once a week kind of thing. So you'll always keep going back. So even though you don't have I don't have a consistent kind of, oh, this is Monday I go here, Tuesday I go there. My schedule is kind of like hectic, but I always end up going to the same places. So that's kind of nice, and I'm familiar going to those specific places. Another thing is that acting is so expensive. First of all, the most expensive part about acting is having an open availability where you can just always say yes to an audition. You can always say yes to a gig that will maybe doesn't pay so much, but it's a great opportunity, because then you can add it to your reel, your acting reel, or your voiceover reel, or whatever. So that is the most expensive part, is just being able to have an open schedule, because you can't have a job that is super demanding, because if you have a job that's super demanding and you're an actor, well, you're going to get fired or you're going to have to quit, because if there's some momentum in your career, or even for like the 2 months or whatever, you're going to have to miss a lot of work. And that's something I've noticed with my actor friends, those same people that you see all the time, on set or whatever. I noticed that some of my friends that have a full-time job, like a 9 to 5 job, whenever they get a gig that is low paying, they get offended. And I'm just like, I'm a full-time actress right now, so any gig I can find, if I'm not already, booked for something better, I'm like, yes. Do you need an extra? Yes. Oh, it's only $150 for the day? Yes. Like, I need to make some money, so I always say yes, because some people are like, oh, I'm over the extra stuff, like I can't do it. And I totally understand it, because it can be really repetitive and boring at times. Sometimes it's really fun, you get to meet cool people, but I have friends who will refuse to do extras gigs because it doesn't pay as much as like a featured gig or a speaking gig, because they have a job, right? So if they were to call in for the day, they're maybe not making like $200, $300, whatever they're making at their day job, and then they're gonna go, drive further. They're gonna have to take their own clothing, makeup, and stuff. So for them, it might not be worth it, but for me, it is worth it because acting is expensive. And then it's also expensive because you have to have casting accounts. So through my agency, I have a Bolt account, which is $9. Bolt Casting, which is through them. And then I have Backstage, which is $20 a month. And then I have San Francisco Casting and LA Casting, and each one of those are $21. So yeah, it's expensive just to like find auditions to possibly get jobs. Not even guaranteed, possibly get jobs. I have to pay all of that. And then now, not so much anymore, but also you have to have your headshots printed out. You still have to have headshots, so to update your headshots you have to pay for that. And then if you want to print them, you definitely should print them and have them just in case. But I've noticed that I haven't had to print more headshots in a while because most places don't even ask me for a headshot because they already have me on file on the computer, through a casting site. So another thing is that as a full-time actress in the Bay Area, there's not that much to keep me busy all the time. So then I'll have time to do stuff like this, make a video, right? But then this is what I'll do during the day. All right, I'll wake up, I'll eat, and then I'll check my emails to see if I got anything from any casting, anything I need to respond to, an invoice I need to send from a previous job. Because as an actor, you also have to fill out your paperwork to get hired every time. So like I was saying, in the Bay Area, it's a lot of commercials. So most of your jobs will be like 1, 2, 3 days, and you have to fill out all your paperwork for each thing. So you have to fill out like, oh yes, I am legal, I am able to work legally in this country, and then like your W-9 or whatever tax form you need to fill out, and then you fill out like a agreement that you are giving them your image and whatever for them to use. So you fill out all this paperwork every time. So you can be filling this out. For me, I usually work in an acting related thing 2 to 3 times a week. So I can be filling out this paperwork 2 to 3 times a week. Where was I going with that? I don't know. That's part of the job, that you need to fill out paperwork, and sometimes you go home and a lot of the time you fill out an invoice and then you send it to them, right? So that can take a lot of time. So then usually after I finish reading my emails, I will just go through all the casting sites that I have and search anything that is applicable to me that I can do. I will go and sign up for it, the audition or whatever. And then after that, if you don't have an audition and you don't have a gig or anything, you're kind of like waiting for somebody to call you for a job. Hopefully, please, I want that big $5,000 cruise commercial or whatever. Because sometimes you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know how you're going to make money. And that's something that drives other people crazy. As an actress, most of the time you don't know what you're going to do for money because they haven't called you and told you like, hey, you're booked. Because like I said, again, commercials, I'm saying it so many times. In the Bay Area, there's a lot of commercials and industrials. Like a couple of days ago, I had 0 gigs for this week. So actually, I just got, yesterday I got called and I got booked for a voiceover gig for Wednesday. So as of right now, my whole week consists of 1 gig on Wednesday. And the rest of the time, I'm just going to be doing what I told you. I'm going to be applying to jobs, responding to emails about future jobs. I have a voiceover gig, so I'm going to make sure I'm really familiar with it. So when I get into the studio, we can do it really quickly and effectively. But most of the time, I don't know about jobs. Maybe the furthest right now is probably like a week before I'll find out about a job. But usually if it's like extra work, they'll tell me 24 to 48 hours-ish before the job. So it's very inconsistent, and that drives people crazy. They're like, how could you live like that? I would never be able to do that. I think I just stress out a lot and deal with it because there's really no other option than just to deal with it. I am always tempted to like, okay, just go get a job, and like, if they fire you, they fire you. If you quit, whatever. But because I have so much time sometimes, I have like 10 hours, okay, I can go to the gym, but then after the gym, like, I'm still going to have a bunch of time to do whatever. So I make videos like this. But you can really get in your head, and when you browse through social media, you're like, oh my gosh, all these people are doing this and that. And it's really easy to feel really, really low and really, really high as an actor because you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't have any gigs this week, and I don't know if I'm gonna make enough money to pay my rent or my bills. And you're so low, right? You're just like, what am I doing with my life? And on the flip side, when you actually book a bunch of gigs in a row and you're getting paid decently, or you make a few $1,000s on a gig, you're like, yes, I can do this. See, I told myself I could do it. I can do it. And then that's like when you're really high, right? On your highs. But then like the next week, it just could be nothing. And then you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So budgeting is really important. I'm not saying I'm good at it, but I am trying to get good at budgeting as an actress. Um, for me, I like to at least have rent because that's like the most expensive bill. That I like to have next month's rent already in my bank account at the beginning of the month. So let's say I just paid my rent for this month. I want next month's rent to already be in my bank account. So at least I know, okay, I just have to make, an additional my other bills, like my student loan, my credit card bill, whatever, and money for food. I just have to make those few $100s to be able to get through this month. But then also in my head, it's like, okay, but you also need to make next month's rent, right? So I try to have like some money saved up for the next month. So you really have to be smart about your money. But it is also expensive just to keep up to keep up this thing, having these casting sites and all of that. So it can be really stressful. But aside from that, I love just meeting people, the crew, the talent on sets. Like that's my favorite part, just to talk to people and like be creative, especially if it's like a fun commercial or it's supposed to be comedic. It's just really fun to hang out with people and talk to them. That's my favorite part. When I'm an extra, I love meeting people because you have so much time. Sometimes you're on set for like 16 hours, 19 hours. And so you get to really know the people that are sitting next to you. So that is my absolute favorite part of being an actress, is like being creative with other people, but then off camera also just being able to talk to them and to get to know those people. That's kind of my experience in a nutshell. I I love it, but it's also really stressful, and I think about getting another job in addition to acting all the time, but then I tell myself, okay, you need to keep your availability open. You need to keep yourself open to opportunities, because if you're like in a job that's maybe paying you more or something, you're going to be so tempted to say no to those jobs that could get you more jobs in the future and could accelerate your career. So that is what I experienced. Like I said, that's my experience. I'm sure there's people out there in the Bay Area that make a lot more money than me through acting, that do a lot more things to survive and to pay your bills. So why don't you go ahead and right now tell me in the comments, what is your favorite budgeting thing? And you don't have to be an actor, whatever you do. Like, what is something, your go-to budgeting thing, so you stay on track? Because I want to make like an actor's budget video very soon, just to help people, because I feel like I need the help and I know other people will need the help as well to budget their world around acting. So let me know that right now in the comments. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, or if you're interested in any other acting related videos. Please click like on the video and click on the notification bell so you get updates every time I upload.